not going to try and belittle this podcast with the sex story because it's quarantine. We're already getting fucked by the coronavirus.
I'm so proud of you.
Roger Goodell is fucking us no matter what. He's teasing us. He's cuckolding us with these schedule releases.
And we talked, I think we also, quick side note, I think we took the started off very like uncomfortably sexually bit to the ground when I started talking about how I wanted to fuck Gravy last week. So I think at this point, let's keep it clean. Let's turn back to a family show, as of course we are here at Face of the Franchise. Get into it, Nudie.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, we're just getting cuckolded left and right with all these schedule releases, drafts, Zoom mini camps. I mean, people would think that the season will start on time, and some people don't think the season will not start on time. And I feel like, Joe, you're on the side that it will be delayed.
You want to get into our little side wager we made?
I just want to get it over on air.
I am with it.
Because this is the deal. You're one of those Corona believers that think that.
Are you one of those who think that
they're not working night and day? No, not that the disease is from God. We already got slapped in the dick for that one. But I'm saying that the disease, that they're not working night and day to figure out this disease. I swear they're working tirelessly to find a vaccination. If the UFC can have fights where they're just killing each other, why can't 11 grown men fight each other? I don't understand. I don't see no problem.
I'm not gonna dive too much into it, except for the simple fact that everybody's ready and raring to race back to normal life. When you're ready and raring to race back to normal life, when we're not necessarily ready and to race back to that normal life and get it all back as it is, and it's been suggested by many experts that we go in phase one. No one's gonna follow that phase one because boom, they just think stay-at-home orders out, we can be out again as normal as it used to be. I'm sorry. I love all our good Face of the Franchise listeners. I just don't believe in the people to keep the system going. I think we're going to have a relapse. I do think there's going to be another stay-at-home order in the future, and I think it's going to come around in the fall, unfortunately.
100%. I think as well there's going to be a second wave of Corona, but at that time we'll be more prepared for it than the first wave. But this is what I'm saying.
I certainly hope so, because it can't get much worse in our preparation.
I'm saying with Corona in the NFL season, there's one factor that you forgot that we need to discuss, not in detail because everybody already knows. Roger Goodell is the biggest money-grabbing whore on planet Earth. If there's any way for this man to make money and nobody's gonna die, honestly, I think he'll let people die. He'll let people die of Corona before anything happens. I'll
give you that. He's a sleazeball. He is definitely on the side of Trump of the economy right now. People are more focused on the economy than this actual virus, even though the numbers say 68% of people are concerned about the virus than over Corona. But anyway, I agree with you on that. He's a sleazeball. Anything to make money. If Bobby Axelrod was real and not fictional, as you know, this show, franchise loves billions. We're big billions fans here. We know that he would be finding a way to milk the market and get things going back too. That's just what sleazeballs, greedy 1%ers do. So yeah, I mean that is on your side. That is an advantage to you.
If you didn't connect the dots already, me and Joe have a bet on when the season will start. He says it's delayed. I'm saying it's going to start on time because I do think Roger Goodell will have maybe 50 people dead from coronavirus, buffer, saying oh, it's only 50 people. It's fine. It's not like everybody died. No, and I'm not. And this is what I'm saying. He's a clown. And
not to make light, but it's true, right? I mean, it's gonna be. He's gonna probably echo the same things that Trump has. It's So anyway, but yes, we got the bet going on. I'm gonna take advantage of the stupidity and the lack of preparation and win an extra 100. And we got a two-parter to that bet. Face of the Franchise listeners will tell you about here in a little bit. But first, I want to get to it. I know that you wanted to get to other things first, but I'm just too eager. I'm too excited. We can get to the little news and updates and everything here in a minute.
Can I introduce us first, you asshole, to the new listeners?
Please.
You fuckhead. Ass fuck. For all you new listeners, this is Face of the Franchise. I am your host, Michael the Pharaoh Shanuti, and always to my right, because he will never be to your left, my man, Joey Dorian.
Ha-ha! Yeah, how we doing, folks? Yeah, thank you. I got excited there. We long introduction on that one, but yeah, man, let's dive into today's news. And
No,
you know
I
what?
know what you want to dive into. Just fucking do it.
I'm gonna dive in real quick. I know it. I know what you want, so we'll do it for everybody. And of course, before you get listening to this episode, go DM right now at Four Corners Radio to be under the great umbrella. That is, of course, and I botched it on free therapy. I'm not gonna botch it here. Face of the franchise, free therapy. Last Nice Guys, bread and butter, five holers, and I forgot my own show on free therapy earlier in the week. I'm not gonna do it here. Degenerates are us. Please go be under
You're back.
all the great selection, all-star selection we have here at Four Corners Radio, and
You're
DM
back.
us right now to be part of the team.
Sports are back. You're back. So Degenerates Are Us is back. So you guys have content now. So it's gonna. Please listen to him. Him and Anthony are very good. I'm hyping that show up because, man, it's wild. It's a wild show.
There's degenerates in all of us, baby, and come be a part of it and let your inner degenerate out. And we're going to tell you later in the week how it went for our UFC bets, how much money we brought down, who did I hustle of my brother's roommates. I kind of just told you, and much more to come on Degenerates Are Us. But I think we got a show to do here, baby. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it racking.
Rena, you want to go straight into the biggest news of the week?
You know what? We'll stop. I'll go ahead. I can see you want to get your news in your little prim and proper order. Do it. Tell them what else we got first, because these are real quick. Go ahead.
Small cleanup things.
Yeah.
Cam Newton came out and said he will take a backup role if the situation is like Jameis, like if it's a good role with a good coach, good starting quarterback in front of him. Cam basically got off his high horse and said, yeah, people don't want me as a starter right now. They want to see how my foot and my shoulder looks. So good for him. This is actually very good because I am a Cam fan. So very good. Also, our favorite clown, Javion Clowney, is now been contacted by the Philadelphia Eagles. If I know the Philadelphia Eagles, the contract is probably not what in his range of what he wants. Basically,
100%.
Not running back money, 20 to 20 fucking million, but he's still stringing along the Seahawks and the Titans. So enjoy that. And then also Carlos Hyde been contacted by the Eagles. So we'll see what the Eagles are going to do. They're trying to revamp their offense to compete with the Cowboys and all that shit. But now I'm going to let Joe tell us what the biggest news of the week was where PR 101 really failed somebody.
Well, we're gonna continue to tease and blue ball that for a moment, because I do want to comment on the Cam thing just for a second, because I want to touch on that just for a moment, because I mean, a lot of people are like, okay, yes, he's finally coming back down to earth, he's gonna be this backup, and I think that was the right move in terms of where he's at right now. Right? I mean, I think he kind of had some inner voice talk to him, have a moment of realization, humble up, and remember Tranny Tanny. Remember Tranny Tanny. Yep. And where we were. And I think you get that 1-year contract again, and most likely your starting QB is going to get hurt, and you come in and you do the Cam thing. I think you come in, you do your Cam, and next thing you know, you can, and you're in the playoffs. I absolutely believe in that. I think, take the Tranny Tanny recipe. Who knows? We've seen other backups do this before too, or former starters and backups do this and then go ahead and come in and at least get their teams in the playoffs. I'll remind you of Jeff Garcia way back in the day there, Nudie, snuck the yeah, right? Brad Johnson was the quarterback for a while, and then Jeff Garcia came and backed him up and got them into the playoffs. And I'm telling you, I think that's somebody that you can rely on. That's a very deep, strong backup QB. Maybe a little pricey, but I think could be worth it in the end.
Well, I'm going to tell you 3 places, and I'm glad you brought that up about the whole Tannehill thing, where their situation might bring you to that point. Actually, 4. One just popped into my head. And it actually involves their ex-quarterback in Tennessee. I think the Raiders would be good. They did talk about Derek Carr being not Gruden's guy. Mariota.
I could see a QB battle coming out, definitely.
Yeah, Mariota. I mean, like John Gruden really likes to have those 3 quarterbacks in training camp, seeing which one's the best. Cam fits the mold of the new quarterback era of the running and pro-style offense that he wants to run. But there's 3 other teams that if Cam goes and he does well, they could be contenders. And one being the Broncos and the 49ers. Drew Lock is a great quarterback. He's my darling for fantasy this year.
I think me and you could go be quarterback at the 49ers and they would still
Yeah. I mean, you can look at the Broncos and the 49ers situation of like those quarterbacks are good, but are they Alex Smith with the Chiefs where they're good to get you to the playoffs, get you to that Super Bowl, but are they Patrick Mahomes away from winning the Super Bowl? Does that make sense? Like
absolutely, yeah.
And that's like saying like
are they a destined playoff quarterback, or are they gonna be have what it takes to get to the big game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Plain and simple. Are you always gonna be that one game short, or are you gonna be able to put yourself there?
Right. And the last place I will say, and this is kind of like because I said I was a Cam fan, and I know Ben Roethlisberger is not young, and Mason and Duck really burned my bridges, and we didn't draft a quarterback. I mean, the Steelers. If the price is right, why not have him? I mean, all he could do is play if Ben gets hurt, go away after if Ben gets hurt and he plays well, he can go away, be a starter somewhere else, or he could be a starter for us. I mean, they believe in Mason, but what I saw last year,
gonna toss aside Ducky and Mason, buddy.
Ducky was tossed aside already before training camp. Like we cut him, and Josh Dobbs was our third string quarterback. We traded him to the Jacksonville Jaguars. We brought him back because
shout out Josh Dobbs.
Yeah. So, dude, Cam would be a good fit as a backup, maybe future for the Steelers. I mean, we have too much talent to say we're going to pack it in after Ben. I mean, that defense is a pretty good defense. Juju might be good.
I think Cam does really well in that offense, too.
Exactly. So, Super Cam, come be a Superman in Steel Town. This is where you need to be. So, but if you go to the other three destinations, I think those destinations would be really good in the sense of a Tannehill, like, the other guy's not performing well. Let's put Cam, see how he does. He might have a Tannehill spark in him. So,
yeah. And then in terms of the other two, Hyde and the Clown, I don't really give a shit there, buddy. I mean,
that when it happens, I'll let you know, face of franchise listeners. But after that, it's just like, who gives a shit at this point?
I think once Clowney signs the deal, we're all going to see that he probably left $3 million to $5 million on the table that he could have taken without.
It's going to be a 2-year, probably like $13 million per year deal. He's like, oh, I signed with the Seahawks or the Titans because this is a good situation for me.
Right.
But he'll
find a way to justify it.
He left $17 million with the fucking Dolphins. I don't understand. Even if the Dolphins do suck, who gives a fuck? It's Miami. You don't want to win a Super Bowl. I know for a fact he doesn't want to win a Super Bowl. He's an individual stats guy, so he can go to Miami, be in South Beach, no income tax. Fuck him.
The Clown's got enough time. Let's rip off this Band-Aid that I have just been ripping at the bit to get at.
You love the PR mess-ups, so let's go. Let's hear it.
It is my absolute favorite, and this one is going down as an absolute classic. You know, Little Joe's covering all not the PR fuck-ups, but the PR shining. And I call this absolute shining. And Earl Thomas, you get on my Mount Rushmore, even, of stories with this in terms of PR performance. I absolutely am so proud of you. And we know this date. We know where I'm going, and we know where this dates back. Nudie. Nudes.
Yes, sir.
Pharaohs.
Yes, sir.
Brothers start at an early age, finding a way to bond, to create a relationship, how to truly love each other and be best friends. Some of them compete with each other and when it comes to friendly competition. Some may start a business. Some may just enjoy the game together and a couple beers. No. Not enough for the Thomases, brother. Not enough for the Thomases. The way we bond in the household is true love. It's sacrimony. It is religious at some sorts. It is absolutely untouchable, and that is banging each other's wife out. I think, or banging girls' wife out. And they've been doing this since they were young bucks, coming into pubescent age. They both had a crush on the same girl. Say, brother, I've always had to share with you what's new now. And they have no boundaries with sharing. I respect it. I love it. Earl, I mean, you're showing us what true family love is, what true bonding is. I wish me and my brother could have a relationship like this.
Fuck no.
It's fantastic. It's disgusting. Not. It's weird as shit, man. It's just like, I don't know if you saw Michael Ivory Wayans, the oldest Wayans brother, when he gave the congratulations and he walked up and he had no pants on. And it's reminiscent of that. It's reminiscent of the quarantine. But this dates back way before the quarantine, way before Earl was Earl. Go nudie. I was so happy. I love it. I need more of it. It's disgusting. It's fucking gross.
So let me tell you, let me get you through the process of like headlines that came through my Twitter feed and my thoughts. So the first one was, domestic violence called on Earl Thomas and his wife. I was like, okay, whatever. Same news as always we hear. Next I hear she pulled a gun on him, so it's on her.
Yes.
I was like, oh shit. I was like, that's crazy. Like, gun, that's not cool, but whatever. And then he pulls out, and I saw the video. Of Earl Thomas saying it's nobody's business. Pray for us, all this shit. So I was like, okay, so he's just trying to get ahead of it, saying like him and Nina, I think that's her name, are like cool and whatever. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Next story comes out. He had a Devil's Three-Way with someone. It didn't say brother. It didn't say brother yet. It said Devil's Three-Way. And how
I didn't even catch this, Nudie.
No, yeah, dog. My Twitter feed it keeps me up to date like that. And I was like,
no, here on Face the Franchise, you are our insider.
So I was like, damn, son. I was like, that's crazy. She caught him doing a Devil's Three-Way. And then the last piece of news, it was his brother. And I was like, first thing I did, I was like, I got to fact check this. There's no way. Who the fuck has a Devil's Three-Way with their brother and in like an orgy style setting? And I'm like, only fucking psychopaths. And Earl Thomas is a psychopath. He is legit from the Seahawk days, from the Texas days. The guy didn't have a screw loose. And when he talks, when he ever mentions anything, like when I knew Earl Thomas had a screw loose is when he was talking about Russell Wilson. And it was after the Super Bowl, and he called him a light skin. And I was like, all right, that's bullshit. And I was like, why did he call him a light skin? And then he's like, he's a light skin because he'd be throwing the ball kind of weird. And I was like, bro, that's the best at that point. That's the best quarterback in the league. You just won a Super Bowl with this light skinned dude. Like, come on, man. Earl Thomas. I don't know what the Ravens need to do in their organization to fix all this shit because they've had just, and I'm not blaming the Ravens organization at all. It's just a string of bad luck. Ray Lewis, Ray Rice, fucking, now this. It's like, dog, how bad could your luck be at being such a great organization, but you just have this string of like fuckatry that's just like, dog, what do we have to do? Like, Lamar, please just don't do anything stupid, because if you do something stupid, like, this whole thing is going to go crazy. And the fact that, and I just can't get over it, it's with his brother. Like, I have a brother, you have a brother, we love our brothers, we'll do anything for our brothers. But if my brother comes up to me and is like, hey, dog, let's go bang this girl out together, I'll be like, no, son. I was like, either you go first, or I'll go after you, or I'll go first, you go after me. I ain't going to be in the same room as you. Like, fuck no. Like, and the funny part,
I think we're still just lost. Man, we're not on the same page here. I don't understand how this is a PR disaster. Okay. I don't understand your logic whatsoever, where you're coming from with this. A man is a man based on his string of choices. Those string of choices become habits, and those habits become character. And do not disparage this man for his fine characteristics. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's not for me. But, it's for Earl. This is how he bonds with his brother. I'm not going to hate on a man for it. It's not a PR disaster. It's a PR masterpiece. With this Ravens schedule as well, they're going 16-0. Earl's leading that title as he bangs out any girl his heart desires with his brother there, because he does not have him not there.
I think you forgot, because we've been out of sports for too long, how ruthless fans are. Like, they are going to call him the craziest names I have ever seen.
Oh, I'm sure.
Will it get to him? I don't know. But Earl Thomas is now on the level of dudes that close the refrigerator with their hips. Like, just like, stop being weird, dog. Be normal for once in your fucking life. Like, and I don't know. You watch Key and Peele, so you know their skits well. I don't know if you remember the one skit of it was Peele fucking, and he was like telling Key, he's like. I'm having sex with my brother, and he's like,
yeah.
I was like, dog, he has the same curls as Earl Thomas, and the other guy looked exactly like his brother, Keenan. And I was like, Keegan, they were just like, I was like, this is perfect. I was like, they called this. How do they call this? It's like a Simpsons thing where they call things, but it's just like, I don't know what to say. I'm on the side of Nina in the sense of you caught first of all, your husband cheating, find out he was in an orgy setting. And then the next thing you know, you got to go to a family reunion where you see the guy who convinced them to have sex with another girl, but with him at the same time in the same bedroom. Come on, bro. Like, that's just fucked up. Like, I would slap the shit out of my brother if he's like, yo, have sex with this girl with me in the same, in a devil's three-way. Fuck no. By the way, a devil's three-way is 2 guys, 1 girl, if anybody didn't know.
Thank you for clarifying the technical term there, buddy. We were all a little lost and a little unsure. So thank you, Nudie. But hey, man, as beautiful as that was, and you may not understand it, but we can't all understand true love and a brother bond that is unbreakable.
One thing, just one more thing, because I just wanted to my chest. The video was just so bad of him saying that shit of like, please respect me and Nina's privacy. Dog, what privacy were you given when the cops were called, when the gun was pointed at your face? Like, you cheated on your wife. Like, this is a PR disaster. Like, you're not getting ahead of it. Like, it's one thing to cheat. It's another thing to cheat on your wife with your brother. Like, I still can't get over the fact that you did it with your brother. Like, that's the number one thing in the world that I just cannot get over. I would never do it with a friend and an acquaintance, let alone my brother. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, Earl Thomas just needs to go to a rehab center where he needs to learn he's a sex addict, because that's some sex addict shit from a sex addict. I'm telling you, you need rehab on your sex addiction. And man, I'm bewildered. Probably the best word to use, bewildered, in this scenario of brothers fucking the same girl. And the video did not help.
Well, buddy, I hope you'll learn to accept it as somebody that understands true love did. It takes time to understand true love. It's all right. We all can't be there. But I think something else got dropped and released this week. What was that?
So now that we're back on the Roger Goodell is a money grubbing whore, because he loves to cock tease everybody. The schedule release.
Buddy, your sexual tension, your sexual deprivation is showing again. Be careful.
Yeah, of course. So the schedule was on May 5th. So last week, and this is the time of year where fans love to do the whole win, lose, win, lose. Everybody thinks they're going to the playoffs. Now that there's 7 seeds, we'll see. But here on Face of the Franchise, we take an unbiased opinion on things. So honestly, it is just so funny when we talk about schedules. And when we look at the easiest schedule, the team that had a great regular season gets the easiest schedule, the Baltimore Ravens. And then following them is the Steelers, thank you, God, the Dallas Cowboys, the Browns, and the Redskins. Now, Joe, you're a Redskins fan. I'm a Steelers fan. And it's nice to see that we have easy schedules. But to see that the Ravens have the easiest schedule when they went 14-2 is kind of baffling to me, because they still have to play the Chiefs. They still have to play the Steelers twice. No matter how you look at it, the Steelers play them tough. They play the Cowboys, and they play who won the other division? The Titans? No, the Houston Texans. They still have to play Deshaun Watson. So I mean, like, in the sense of like who has the easiest path, like, no unbiased opinion, it's the Ravens. Like, they lose to maybe the Chiefs.
That's big for you to say there, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, they lose maybe to the Chiefs. They might stumble with.
Not really, but anyway, continue. Not big. Let me retract that.
They stumble either with the Browns or the Steelers or both. I mean, divisional games can go either way. You know that. And they might lose like a crazy game to like the Titans, like again.
Yeah.
And 13-3, and they might be the number 1 seed. But Cowboys also had the best draft, had the best offseason, in my opinion. They get the 3rd easiest schedule. They might be the 3rd best team in the NFC behind the 49ers and the Saints. So I think those two are setups for success is so high. And granted, I can't say anything about the Steelers because I don't know what Ben's going to look like, and that's the number one reason why I'm reserving my my opinion for them. we do have a great setup game with the Giants. So that would be a great team to see how good we really are. So
I mean, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with a couple things here. I think this is arguably either a 16-0 season for the Ravens or a 13-3, and I don't think there's any other way. I see 3 games where they potentially lose. You already mentioned them. It's Texas. That's the Texans, Chiefs, and the Titans. And the 2 of those games are in the first 4 weeks. I think that's going to kind of be a determination. I think if they win those 2 games, those first 3 weeks, yeah, we've seen an undefeated Ravens team. I really think we do.
An undefeated season is too hard, dog. Listen. I know what the Patriots
and I know what you're saying. The division games can go either way. I mean, we saw them almost lose to the they did lose to the Bengals actually at one point.
No. They lost to the Browns. They almost lost to the Steelers with Mason, and they did lose to the Chiefs last year. In Kansas.
So they almost lost to the Bengals. I apologize.
No,
it was close. It was close.
Well,
listen, spread-wise, I think it was like 20, and they lost by the Bengals lost by 3.
Joe Burrows, you never know.
Regardless, though, I'm with you, and as I made it very clear here, I'm not at all a Ravens fan, but I'm kind of disgusted at this, man. I mean, it's a very easy path. Like you said, they are easily in the top 3 teams of talent, I think, along with you can talk, Saints and Bucks and 49ers. But, yeah, I mean, and Chiefs, of course. But, I mean, I think that it's an very easy walking path compared to a lot of other teams. Like, shockingly, the Patriots, man. I mean, I'm surprised at this, but I'm not surprised at this. It's almost like Belichick and Goodell talking and said, "Hey, just help me tank for Earl. That's all, or help me tank for Earl. My mind can work here today. Help me tank for Lawrence, and help me tank for Trevor." And I think that's what's exactly conspiring here. I don't understand why the schedule is fucking brutal, Nudie. I mean, let's see. First 6 weeks, you see Chiefs, Seahawks, and 49ers.
Yep. So it's so funny that we did talk about I feel like this is Rodgers' way because Roger in New England, man, their conflicts have been through the roof for years. We all know that. Now that Brady's gone, my man is chomping at the bit to fuck them. And obviously, it wasn't his fault that the schedule turned out that way, but you could have spread it out. You could have sprinkled it out. And it's funny that we did talk about the Patriots because their division rivals have the same thing, the Jets and the Dolphins. And right after them, it's the 49ers. And the 49ers are built for a tough schedule.
So you're not on my theory at all. You don't think this is, and again, this is the last billionth reference of this episode, but you don't think this is a Bobby Axelrod and Chuck Rose teaming up together and kind of, okay, let's make it look like it. And then, you can go ahead and get that number pick, get Trevor in. Am I thinking too deep? Am I thinking too deep state?
You're getting too deep because of 2 reasons. One, I watched a lot of, in this quarantine, there was that Bill Belichick and Nick Saban documentary. And then I watched the 30 for 30 on the 2 Bills, him and Parcells. In his DNA, he cannot tank. There's just some coaches, no matter if it's good for the team or not, he cannot say, I'm giving up on this season. Plus, dude, you still play the Dolphins twice. You still play the Jets twice. No offense, we don't know what the Bengals are going to do. We don't know what the Redskins are going to do. The Jags might suck dick. The Patriots have a better chance of getting Justin Fields, the guy from Ohio State, than Lawrence. And I think he fits better than him. So it's funny because, we did talk about the Patriots, but the team I want to talk about with the hardest schedule, and this is just setting up the dude for an unsuccessful season. And our great friend, the Mono, Sam Darnold,
Dirty Sammy.
Their first games are against playoff-bound teams like 49ers, the Rams, the Chargers, the Chiefs. Dude, they might not win a game until October or November. It's ridiculous how bad the schedule is placed in front of them. You have a young quarterback in Sam Darnold who's supposed to take the next leap. Unfortunately, because of mono, it would have been last year. But now Sam Darnold is fucked. Sam Darnold is absolutely fucked. 49ers are going to eat him alive. Le'Veon Bell might not gain another 100 yards.
Ever in his career.
Like, this is over. Like, Jets are done. Like, go ahead, Bills. You won this division. Congratulations.
I mean, those first 4 weeks, too, all those defenses are arguably rough as
Right?
fuck. I mean,
Right?
Bills and Broncos obviously have reputations of their own, and Colts. And I'll get to the 49ers in a second. You already mentioned them. We don't even really need to mention them. 49ers are the 49ers, but the Colts, one of those underrated defenses for sure. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a fucking scary 4 weeks to start, and then you kind of get a breather with the Cardinals and Chargers, kind of. And then from there, it's just, I mean, it's brutal all over again with the Bills, Chiefs, Patriots.
This is setting up for the biggest, like, the division winner of the AFC East, where the Patriots, Dolphins, Jets, and the Bills, it's going to be a 9-7 team. Like, I don't think the Bills are that good. I don't think the Bills are that good, to be honest. Last year, I think Josh Allen might take another step, but it's just like, dude, like, your team is not that great, and I think your team is going to win the division, yeah, but, like, it's going to be like how the Eagles won the division last year for the NFC East. It's like...
Maybe. I would like to see some progression in that team. I think that jury's kind of out, and then I think that the Bills team is someone I feel that can progress. I don't see it getting to a Super Bowl team by any means, but I think it's somebody that can maybe get to a AFC championship.
No, I think in all honesty, it all depends. It's like we always say about every quarterback. It depends on Josh Allen. If Josh Allen takes that next step, we'll see. That defense is pretty good. I mean, Devin Singletary is pretty good. I mean, they added Stephon Diggs, a guy who's a speedster, DMV own. Thank you, God.
DMV strong.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't like how the schedule is set up for the young quarterbacks in that division. But the 49ers, like you mentioned, is one of the toughest. But I mean, they're built for it, dude. Like, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan drafted like maniacs this year, and they got Trent Williams. So
we'll just see if they can keep a Super Bowl lead. I definitely think they're back in it this year, unless Tom Brady and the Bucs have something to say about that. And speaking of Tom Brady and the Bucs, the most anticipated match for the next 6 months, Nudie, well, potentially year, depending on the season happens, is that Brady Breeze. We get it twice a year. I'm fucking jacked up. I'm pumped. I cannot wait. I'll have my popcorn and my beer shouting in your ear.
Right away. They didn't even waste time. They're saying, no, fuck you guys. Tom Brady and Drew Brees. Let's get it.
We'll get it if you want. Yeah. You get it.
It's so funny that
they've only played the coach from Waterboy.
They've only played 5 times before this. Now they get to play twice in one season. So it's going to be great. It's definitely the GOAT talk again. It's definitely like, Brady has the rings, but Breeze has all the stats, and it's like, whoa. It's like, it's kind of crazy. But my most anticipated for week 1 matchup, it's got to be the Bears disbelief game. Mahomes against Watson, Texans against Chiefs. The Bears are watching because they picked Mitchell Trubisky before both of them. So just the Bears are going to keep
always the Bears with Brett Bull, right?
Yeah, so it's definitely the Thursday night game. Where the Chiefs are going to raise the banner. Will the Texans win? Fuck no. But I just would like to see the new. It's kind of like what we talked about.
I wouldn't say fuck no.
Is it going to be?
Week 1's wonky and weird, man. Remember that.
Yeah, but it's the Baby Goat Bowl. It's the next tier of quarterbacks going up against each other when the old guys are fighting against each other, and then.
Yeah, we have that. We really do. We have the old goats versus the baby goats.
Yeah. So also later on in the season, I think the most anticipated mashup, if it happens, Joe Burrow against Tua, and in week 15, week 16, and a couple of revenge games in there. You got Ron Rivera going back to Carolina. You have Chase Young against Joe Burrows. Chase Young wanted to prove he's the number 1 pick. He said he was the best in the world. You have that. And then you have the bloodbath on Thanksgiving, the Steelers and the Ravens. I had to put it in there because the last time there was a Ravens-Steelers Thanksgiving game.
Yeah, they don't even both normally play on Thanksgiving.
No, but the last time they did it, it was 2013 or 12. Le'Veon Bell catches the ball. Ed Reed hits him so hard. I was at this game. You see the helmet pop off, and it flies. And everybody in the stadium goes, oh. Le'Veon couldn't move. Le'Veon couldn't walk. And he was out for the season after that. It was a wild game. It's going to be another wild matchup.
The Battle of Thermopylae.
Yeah. Those are my anticipated games.
Battle that movie 300 is based off. Again, I've been watching too much Billions. But yeah, no. That's gonna be a fucking bloodbath. But I think you mentioned a lot of great matchups. The one that you missed is, of course, Tressway. Every time he gets the ball and his beautiful foot going off that beautiful ball, and his gorgeous wife. I'm just very excited for him to be a person again and kick the ball again.
So we talked about our most anticipated games. I think we need to talk about our most overrated games. There's a couple games that on the schedule people are highlighting as great games, but I think it's just going to end up being like a one-sided affair. And I think one of the games is going to be Ravens-Titans. I think the Ravens are I think the Ravens are going to absolutely kill the Titans.
That'll be a popular take, though.
I think Ryan Tannehill is not going to be a good quarterback this year. He's my fake quarterback this year, and I don't think he's going to do well. You saw him in those playoff games. It was all Derrick Henry and the defense. You can't, as a guy who's seen bad quarterback play in his day, you can't win with that. So, plus Derrick Henry before this last season would trip on oxygen. Legit would trip on oxygen. Like he would fall to the ground. Like
I think this is a team that's battle tested. I'm personally, I see where you're going with that, and certainly a possibility that could happen. But I see the Titans continue to progress. I like a lot what they did last year. I think that Variables is one of the smartest coaches in the league. I don't see this team falling off, and I think they're going to count again on everybody doubting them, and I think that's going to be a big regret for everybody doubting them. Something we almost forgot, by the way, I did my stupid Tressway bit, and I forgot to mention our part 2 of our bet, which is easily the most anticipated game for this franchise. We barely touched on it. Let's touch it right now. That is, of course, what is cultivated this show, what is our Mustif, what is our Cavaliers versus the Monacois. All right, I know I butchered those last names, but our Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, fuck off, whatever, who cares? You can get me in the comments all you want. But is that Ravens and Chiefs matchup, baby. Blood will spill. That is our Battle of Thermopylae. We got $100 on it if it happens. Most anticipated matchup of the year by far.
Everybody who knows us knows I'm on the Mahomes train. He is on the Lamar train. Last year, Lamar came into Kansas City. He lost. So right now, Mahomes is 1. Mahomes has a Super Bowl ring. He has 1. They both have MVPs. Lamar has records more than Mahomes in running, but Mahomes has the passing. So this is set up week 3, Monday night in Baltimore. Now,
finally,
we have a bet, $100 bet. Obviously, we know whose side we're on. But, Joe, I need your honest answer. You cannot bullshit me. I
would never, buddy.
If Mahomes goes 2-0 against Lamar.
Hold on, I want to distract you for a second because it's been bothering me. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see, what the fuck are you looking at to your left? Every 30 seconds, you keep looking over there.
Right here?
Yes.
My work computer, so I know if I get emails or not. I have a job. I have a fucking job.
I guess not all of us are living off the government right now.
I mean, I work for the government, so yeah, I am living off the government.
All right, continue.
So, So if he goes 2-0, 1 being in Baltimore, what is your excuse that you're going to come up with?
Replay that question back again. I got distracted with the work.
So last year, Lamar got beat in Kansas City by Mahomes. Mm-hmm. This year they play in Baltimore on Monday night. If Kansas City wins, what is your excuse for Lamar losing now twice to Mahomes?
I think you're smart in that, buddy. I think you know that I don't deal in what ifs because that's not a real world of consequences, and I like to deal with reality and on a present plane. So I'm not going to deal with your hypothetical scenarios, and I'm simply going to say I know what the results are.
30.
I'm sorry?
It's more like a 70-30 it's going to happen.
Again, that is your humble opinion, which you're entitled to, buddy. But I don't see it lasting long. I think you're gonna get quickly swayed. I'm not gonna deal in your hypothetical scenario. I'm not even gonna bite and chomp at the bit that you're trying to get me to bite. I'm not gonna take your mousetrap. Instead, I'm just gonna simply let you know. I hope you have the money. Interest will occur once the Baltimore Ravens do absolutely decimate and send the Chiefs back.
One thing you need to learn about the Pharaoh. I will always pay my debt. AKA, I paid you right away for the running back thing. I was very drunk when I made that.
Dumbest bets I've ever seen.
So I paid off those bets, even though I was like, fuck, I was drunk. I didn't mean it. Paid them off. It's fine. It's cool. And
that was on our live show, and if you're a true fan, you saw it. If not, it's the lost episode that will one day come to light. But yes.
but one day it will. But yes, that is the anticipated matchup. I'm excited. The Steelers have the second easiest schedule. You should be excited to have the fifth easiest schedule. I mean,
am.
so we will
We
see.
should maybe get 3 wins because of it instead. So that's gonna be cool.
I'm about to say my playoff teams right now.
You ready to say your playoff teams right now?
Yeah. Ready?
Let's do another segment.
No, real quick.
Get to us. What do you got? Who are your playoff teams?
AFC, Ravens, Chiefs, no particular order. Colts. What I got? Bills, Steelers, Browns, Broncos. NFC.
Oh, what the fuck?
NFC.
No Titans?
NFC.
You are really disrespecting it.
Fuck the Titans. Titans are
For anyone, I'm going to say right here, right now on this show, if anyone that is on the doubter train again, don't get on my club, get off my bus. I'm telling you right here, right now, Titans repeat. They look impressive again. They're definitely making the playoffs again.
All right. Other division. NFC. Saints. What'd I say? Saints. Fuck. 49ers. Fuck.
Come on.
Green Bay. Fuck. Who am I missing? Shit. South. I got South. West. Oh, you Cowboys. Eagles. You got to. I mean, come on, dude. You know the Cowboys are gonna win it. Eagles. And I'm gonna. You know what? Toss up. If Big Dick Nick is Big Dick Nick, Bears. There you go. Done.
Over the Packers?
I said Packers win their division.
Oh, you say okay. I apologize. Okay.
Yeah. All right. That's it. Next segment.
I'm gonna just let you have that. I'll let you tumble off the cliff on your own, buddy. As I said, I'm not going to buy in your mousetrap. You can catch yourself in your mousetrap. But there's somebody that never got caught in mousetraps.
Win the division. Credit to me. I didn't say that, so I was being humble. All right. Next.
Whatever you need to teach your own little bell there, buddy. But yes, there was a man that never got caught in mousetraps that actually tasted perfection in his career. The only person to ever taste perfection, a 19-0, which no one will ever know except for him, and I believe the 76 Dolphins. Correct me real quick if I'm wrong, but I believe that's correct. That is Don Shula.
Bob Greasy, yep.
And that is Don Shula, who is an absolute legend. Goes in that coaching, in my opinion, that coaching Mount Rushmore for sure. If not the top 5. I mean, he was most winning coach of all time. A motivator, like an absolute demonstrator of how the game works and how to be coached. And not only that, man, he coached his whole entire life. He never retired Nooney until I think really the real end there into his late 80s he coached. So that was football is Don Shula.
Yep. And listen, just to talk about the guy. I mean, the guy shaped so many great players. Johnny Unitas. He helped Bob Greasy. He helped Dan Marino when he got drafted. And he was actually one of the Steelers coaches that actually made us pretty good before Chuck Noll got there. And to think he is in a tier all by himself. There might be 2 other coaches, obviously Belichick and Vince Lombardi, I would put up there. But it's so funny when we talk about it. People think Bill because of championships, but the wins. Like, Don Shula has the most wins, and it's so significant. Bill Belichick has to win 12 games for the next 7 to 8 years to even catch up. And and now with no Tom Brady, that seems impossible. So it's like, dude.
Let me tell you, he's not the healthiest fellow.
No, and that's what I'm saying. A guy who coached all the way from like the 60s all the way until the 2000s, like that's crazy. And he coached from the 70s with the Dolphins all the way to the 2000s. Like, when you think of that longevity, especially now with coaching changes, like, that's nuts. And he is definitely going to be sorely missed, a legend of the game. It starts and ends with Don Shula in conversations of best coaches. It's him, Lombardi, Bill Belichick, probably Chuck Noll, or Bill Walsh right behind him. And it's just like those guys transcended, but Don Shula transcended everything. He was the reason why coaching probably became such a integral part of like anything, because people thought, oh, you can put anybody and the players will respond. No, dude, like Don Shula made a culture, and I talk passionately about him because when you see him coach and seeing him talk to these players, it's like literally a guy talking about like how you should do your job. And it's crazy how simple he made things for people, and perfection. He tasted it, and he went back to back in Super Bowls. So
yeah, he was really, just again, I mean, I think you said it real well, man. I'm not going to add too much more to that except for rest in peace to the legend, man. I mean, was a smooth operator, was one of those rare breeds that can adapt and not die. As any changing industry, you need to adapt or die, right? And he was
dude.
that did that very well from 60s to 70s to 80s to 90s to early 2000s football, which changed vastly.
To the man of the people, Don Shula, you'll be sorely missed. Rest in peace. But you know what? This was a great episode, Little Joe. Awesome.
Very good one, man. And with a heavy heart. But good heavy heart.
You know, hey man, he lived a long life. He did as much as he did. He was 93 when he died. So I mean, like, dude lived it to the fullest. Got 2 Super Bowl rings to show for it. Or no, he got 3 with the Colts. So congratulations to all the success. Thoughts and prayers to his family. But a great episode. Great to see that we're on our betting ways again. Excited for the season. But Joe,
yes, sir.
You know what to tell the people. You want to tell them?
I'll tell them as always, baby. You know what to do, people, and that is go DM at Four Corners Radio right now to go join the crazy cast of characters, the revolutionary shows we have under our umbrella. And I wanted to find something else besides to call it an umbrella, but it is indeed face of the franchise as you're listening right now. Free Therapy, Bread and Butter, Last Nice Guys, Hoopin' and Hollering, Degenerates Are Us. Did I miss any nude? I don't believe so. Oh, wait, my favorite, one of my favorites, Free Therapy, of course. So please go join all of us right now. We'd love to have you part of the team, making the dreams. Go complete your dream. I know the quarantine's wearing on you a little bit. Tell us how you're feeling. Tell us how to survive through. Maybe you want to make a podcast about surviving through the quarantine. Maybe you want to take a podcast about some of the shows, and you want to do a podcast about billions. Hey, well, bring it on, baby. Or you want to do a podcast about shows you love. Whatever the hell you like, come to us at Four Corners Radio. We'll make it happen. We love y'all.
Hey, stay safe during these quarantine days, man. We're almost there. Just be safe. As always, stay breezy, stay easy. One love.
Aha!